Friedman guitars are truly an amalgamation of vintage processes and vintage ideas mixed with modern manufacturing. So I became aware of Dave Friedman and the incredible work he was doing with amplifiers and how he had sort of amalgamated modern amp theory with vintage amp theory and was making great sounding amps.
So when the opportunity came up to work with Grover here, it was like a dream come true.
So why are Friedman guitars different? Because Dave Friedman has a vision of what he wants those guitars to be. Every single Friedman guitar is, in effect, a custom guitar. There's a sort of a misnomer that if you use technology, you now have stamped all of the personality out of a product. You have the ability to use CNC technology so that what you've designed in a computer is actually what gets executed. You can't go back to doing things the old way. Then that, for me, that's heaven. That's really the end game. The classic 90 pickup is exactly what it sounds like. Vintage and yet quiet.
Nice open sounding pickup, but still having the bark that a classic 90s style pickup would have. Classic humbucker is an Alnico 5 based humbucker. What I was going for with the humbucker was a very sort of open sounding PAF sort of tone, but not quite as vintage sounding. Less classic rock and a little bit more hard rock. And we did capture what I was looking for.
We're using all the same materials that everybody else uses, but the way we're using them is slightly different. And that slightly different is the tuning of the pickups to a particular resonance and power output that Dave likes.
Honestly, aging the guitar, taking some of the finish off here and there, and wearing it down actually creates a better sounding guitar. It's not sort of drowned in finish.
To make an instrument look truly vintage and not just beat up is a much more complex set of activities than you might suspect. These guitars are absolutely made one at a time, absolutely made as individual instruments. So I had this epiphany to put 2 holes in the neck and 2 holes in the neck pocket, and then take steel dowel pins and dowel the neck onto the body, plus the traditional 4-bolt screws, so that the neck can't shift. And sure enough, that does work, and it's on every single Friedman guitar.
The Plec technology allows the instrument to have lower action than before. Depending on the player's specifications, it allows you to bend cleanly without any buzz. It allows overall the instrument just to play more effortlessly.
The benefit of having this technology is it's revolutionary, because the Plec is looking at things at such a more minute scale than you can discern with your eye. It's absolutely revolutionary.
It makes it easier for the player to play the instrument.
And at the end of the day, the Friedman guitars are great guitars. They feel right. When you pick it up, it feels right. You're buying the love that we put into it.
We have a testing procedure that we go through on every guitar. It's very important to me that it meets all my requirements. And I sign off on every instrument. We have a certificate that goes in the case. Grover and I both sign it before it leaves. I do the same, very similar thing with the amplifiers. I love what I do. I do it no matter what. It's just my passion for sound, instruments, anything guitar. It's all I do. There's no hobby of mine. This is my hobby. This is my life. I don't know how to do anything else.